We're not critics. We're just fucking talking about music.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Listography. Jason and Kramzer here, coming back at you with another record review. Today we are talking about the new Alanis Morissette record, Such Pretty Forks in the Road.
Yep. I am at a fork in the road on this album because not recommending it, but I do think it has some good qualities, which are kind of just accustomed to the things that I like about her in general. So right off the bat, just going to say, don't recommend it. I think it's a pass. On my 4-star scale, I'm going 2 out of 4, which basically means lousy to not very good. But if you like Alanis more than I do, which is probably most, you'll probably like the album because it's very much an Alanis Morissette record. It's got that angst. It's got that passion about, she takes on her stuff no holds barred and head on so much. And that's probably the biggest problem with me with this album is the production and the songs don't match with a lot of the material, what I think the songs are about. And that kind of bothers me a lot. So that said, I think it's a decent Alanis Morissette album, but for someone that only really knows Jagged Little Pill and the one after that from 98, Supposed Former Infatuation Junkie, I'll probably never listen to this record again. What about you?
I pretty much agree with you. I don't think it's very good. I, like you, don't know her entire catalog that well. I was never even that big of a fan of Jagged Little Pill to begin with, but I don't know. It's not a terrible record. It's not like hard to get through or anything like that, but it's not really that great. It seems like from what I know of her discography, it seems like after Jagged Little Pill, she kind of drifted into this sort of adult contemporary territory, and it just doesn't work that well for me. She needs to get back to making rock records if she wants to be, relevant at all, because this is just so forgettable.
I agree. Her strength from the 90s was the, grungy rock sound with pop hooks. Everyone knew the lyrics to most of the songs on Jagged Little Pill when I was 10 years old. This one doesn't have that, but the sound of it is this big piano pop production with these kind of like lush mystical elements behind it. And it just doesn't, like I said, it doesn't make sense to me. A lot of this album to me is like aimed at her kids, and it's got kind of like that adult contemporary like mom rock feel where she's trying to explain herself to kids or younger generation, and it just doesn't, like, you got this really jaunty upbeat Reasons I Drink, and it just doesn't work. And then like Sandbox Love, which I think is the album in a nutshell, really poppy and sweet and selling like or swelling arrangements. But the song is about kind of like her confronting her relationship with physical relationships and with sex being, having been abused. And, that subject matter is great because she tackles that stuff head on and she puts it all out there and it's so direct, but it doesn't give it any, I don't even know if a song like that needs a lure, but the way she tells the story of the song and the lyrics are just so kind of cheesy. And I hate saying that because it's a very touchy subject matter, but like, here we go into the danger zone, but this time with a friend. It just objectively just, I don't know, it sounds kind of goofy. And then the chorus is awkward as fuck, precious as fuck, scary as fuck. And it seems crass to the point of just being crass because that's who she is. But none of the music, none of the sound of this song matches anything that I just said. It sounds like it could be a Pink or a Coldplay song behind all of this going on. And it just doesn't work. It's got these big sweeping, lifting pop, and not even like modern pop, but maybe like 10, 15 years ago pop sounding stuff. And it just doesn't work. And I think the whole album is far too piano heavy. I don't know if her albums leading up to this over the last decade were this piano heavy, but I don't think it's the way I want to hear Alanis.
I think the best song on the record is the opening track, Smiling.
Agreed.
Which I think is decent. I think she gives a pretty good vocal performance on that song. Although, I don't know if you noticed this or thought this, but she seems to have an Irish accent on a lot of this record.
Got that right here. I'm just like, why is there like this Celtic like sound coming in? I don't get it. She's from Canada, right?
She's like doing a Dolores O'Riordan impression from the Cranberries over this kind of like Adele or like Sarah Bareilles sounding production. So if you can imagine that, if you can imagine the Cranberries crossed with Adele, that's basically what this record sounds like, with Alanis Morissette's voice, which isn't really suited to that kind of sound.
No, and I don't think she's a bad singer. She has a unique voice and a unique sound. Not my favorite, and it is to be expected with her albums, but there are some parts of this album where she is just over singing too much for me, especially with simple little phrases and words, and she'll hit like 6 different fluttering notes in one word, and it's just like, come on, like, just relax a little bit. So I don't think this whole album is a loss. I do think it's decent enough to, you know, listen to straight through if you're interested, which I was. But it just has too much stuff of just like maybe trying too hard, or maybe not trying hard enough. I don't know what it is, but it's just too much of a plain being herself thing, especially with like a song like Nemesis, where there's no allure to anything. She just tells you straight up what the message and the songs are about. Like, Nemesis, change is my nemesis. And she's got kind of these corny like yoga spiritual references on the song like Her, where she's like, I'm looking for Shotki, I'm looking for Mary, I'm looking for Kali. And it's just a little bit too, you know, bumper sticker kind of nuance to it that's not really working for me.
Yeah, I think aside from the production, like we've been talking about, the other weakness of this record is the lyrics for me. I don't think the lyrics are very good at all. It's kind of like teenage girl diary type stuff. It's kind of cringy coming from someone her age. It's just, I don't know. It doesn't work for me.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like it is maybe, like I said, I think it's a lot of the album is like her children are the audience. So it's got kind of like that mom trying to be cool vibe to it. Like, not cool, but like trying to relate, but doesn't really know how. And like the songs aren't as bad as I'm letting on. It's just, they're put together well. It just, to me, the main thing is just, it's just not matching the sound and the message. And there's just a big divide there. And I don't think this was the way to go with this album, with the material she had. It just doesn't work. Like you said, it sounds like a Sarah Bareilles album, but it's not sweet and uplifting and cute. It's, I don't know, it doesn't work.
Okay. So rating it, you said 2?
2 out of 4 stars for me.
Yeah, it's about a 5. I think I like it just a little bit less than the Taylor Swift last week. I gave that a 5.5. So just because that one at least was a little more interesting to me. Yeah,
this one didn't have anything that piqued my curiosity. None of this is like new Alanis stuff. I feel like she's written about a lot of these songs, a lot of this stuff before. And that's fine to, you know, retell stories as a songwriter, but, you know, there's nothing interesting or nothing different about the songs that I know, at least, and there are albums I don't know, so I could be wrong. But, you know, it's that disconnect between the message and the music that's bothering me.
Yeah, she's lost her edge, I think, totally. She needs to get some of that back. There's no aggression, no anything, really. It's just kind of dull. And the thing that made Jagged Little Pill so great and such a huge record that sold, I don't know how many copies a ton, was sort of that anger and that sort of ferocity.
Yeah, and she's using her classic angry words and all of that, but there's nothing behind it, you know? She's not pulling out her hair. She's not yelling, you know, at the sky. She's just very subdued, mad, and apologizing for it almost. Like, that's how I feel. And because she's like trying to let everyone know why she is the way she is and not celebrating or defending it. I don't know, just something missing for me.
Agreed. Well, if you've heard this record, let us know what you think in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you've been enjoying our videos, hit the bell so that you get notifications when the new ones come out, and we will see you in the next one.